morning, welcome to this week's video. Trying to stand out the wind a little bit, it's a little bit breezy out here and a little bit chilly actually. I'm down on Clevedon seafront, just under a kilometre away from my house. I'm meeting a guy called Harry Palmer, who's a pro triathlete, and I'm taking him in the sea for the first time off Clevedon. Not in the sea for the first time, but the first time in the sea off Clevedon. I'm going to go for a swim. It's about 5:30 in the morning. It's pretty quiet down here. Normally, you can see behind me, this road is normally packed, and the beach is usually pretty packed too at the moment, because we're having loads of people coming down to visit, because you can travel around now, to the point where they've had to close Marine Lake because the water quality is really poor. So they emptied the lake yesterday, and so it means that we're going to hop in the sea today for a chilly, nice swim at 5:30 in the morning. Well, high tide's at 6, so I thought I'd come down and take you guys, Harry and Sam at least, out for a bit of a sea swim. Good morning, chaps.
How are we?
Oh.
We've got boots on. Oh no.
Oh hell yeah, the stones. I didn't tell you about the stones, did I? Morning, Harry.
How are you doing?
Morning, Sam. He still hasn't had a shave, look. It's getting better every day.
Good to see you.
Good to see you all. You well?
Yeah.
Good.
Just thinking about it. 5 minutes.
Oh, I don't know, once you're in, you're in. I mean, I went in the skins on Wednesday,
Oh, okay.
and it was nice. But it's choppy today, so, and it's cold, the air's colder. That makes a big difference, the air.
Yeah.
So that's all right though. A lot of people, some people are swimming up to Lady Bay already this morning in skins.
Really?
So yeah. Hardy souls.
Yeah.
I think they might even, their plan is to swim back, so it's a 2-mile swim in skins. Screw that.
Yeah, it's a lot better. It'll take me 3 weeks to recover.
So how was your first swim in the sea in Clevedon, and Harry?
I was a little bit sceptical turning up this morning because it was very choppy, but actually once you got in, it was really nice. It was lovely, good company. So yeah, really good. Obviously a lovely day as well. So can't really beat it, can you?
Not really. No.
Really good.
How about you, Sam?
So good, yeah. And the sun came out for us just as we were swimming back from the pier to the buoy, so it was a bit of a sunrise over the brow of the hill. So nice. The waves behind you, you can sort of surf the waves on the way back when they're behind. So yeah.
You'll never forget that, Harry. What about you, Brett? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, no, good fun. Got a bit battered, but you know, first time for everything. Although it's actually got calmer now.
No, I think it's just because it's sheltered. I think it's still.
I genuinely think it's got
Do
calmer.
you reckon?
Yeah.
I'm using my M50, so like literally beyond where you guys are standing, it's just white.
There's
So
still white horses there.
yeah. So that was a great deal of fun getting battered around in the water with those boys, watching them swim so effortlessly as they do, even though the swell was quite big actually that day. I spent quite a lot of time kind of swimming this week in the sea, got out in skins myself in beautiful weather underneath the pier, and also spent a bit of time in Marine Lake, which I'll talk about after this short little film I'm going to show you. I filmed the guys swimming in Marine Lake, and the way they were walking down the pontoon to get to the water kind of reminded me of that intro in Reservoir Dogs, so I hope you'll excuse the Tarantino influence. But this week I've spent quite a bit of time kind of making stuff, using some of those creative skills that I've relied on for the last 30 odd years of my life for my own brain, alongside a very kind of ad hoc week of training where I haven't really done anything too kind of planned. One of the big hurdles that we've got to get over as a family is taking place this week, and I just didn't want to have any pressure on myself to kind of train with any kind of fixed paces or anything like that, so I've done a couple of runs and stuff, but swimming has definitely been the main focus this week. Anyway, here's the short little film that I've made, and I hope you enjoy it, and I've got something to talk about after we've watched this short little film. Well, these are undoubtedly pretty mad times at the minute. I mean, in the world in general, things are pretty chaotic and people are struggling to know exactly what it is they're supposed to be doing or saying. And on a local level, obviously living in such a beautiful place as I do, and I feel lucky that I do, there's been a kind of increasing sense of kind of localism around here, sort of thing I used to experience when I used to surf years ago, where people don't feel like, unless you're from the area, you have the right to kind of be here. But of course, the government have kind of said that people can be here, and they have the rights to be here. Just because I live 600 metres away from the lake or from the pier doesn't give me any more rights than somebody that lives in Poole or Birmingham or something, or any less rights than somebody that lives 200 metres away from the pier or from the lake. It's not about rights, it's about responsibility really. It's about the fact that we all have a responsibility to each other to educate and inform about whatever it might be, about whether it's the sea state or how people should swim, hazards to look out for, taking rubbish home with them. And we all have a responsibility and a right really to both be educated and to educate. If you know something that other people don't know that would be useful to them, then it's important that you tell them, and that you tell them in the right way. It doesn't give you any more right just because you live here to do something different to somebody that doesn't. But likewise, somebody that doesn't live from a certain area doesn't give them a right to come in and kind of leave rubbish or do things dangerously that put the local emergency services at risk. And I think that's the thing really, we all need to be open-minded enough to remember that at times the information and the knowledge that we have about the stuff that we do, at one point we didn't have that knowledge. We had to be shown it and taught it, and we were open-minded enough once to learn that stuff. And it's important to try and remain open-minded to other people's scenarios and situations. For example, with social distancing, some people take it very relaxed now, and some people are still very serious about it, and no one really knows the reasons for those things. It could be a lack of education on the front of the people that aren't taking it so seriously, or the people that are taking it extremely seriously might have some kind of medical condition that means that they have to have a very important operation that if they get COVID they can't have. So really it's a matter of life or death for them. No one really genuinely knows what each other are thinking, and we need to be more empathetic towards each other, just in general, to understanding each other's perspectives on things, and stop being so judgmental and stop being so closed-minded, I think. And to my mind, most of the people I know, they're pretty good at this stuff, but there are a lot of people out there that struggle with that opinion. Just because I'm a triathlete doesn't give me any less right to swim fast in Marine Lake than someone that wants to swim heads up breaststroke and take their time over things. It doesn't give me any more right than them at all. I was a triathlete when I was a Coast Guard round here. I was a triathlete when I used to swim in Marine Lake, and the cracks in the wall in the mid-90s were so big that you could actually scrape the bottom of the seabed with your hand, even in the deepest parts. That doesn't give me a right any more than anyone that hasn't swum in there for the last couple of weeks. And those are just my thoughts at the minute. I just want to strive to learn more about things that I don't know about. I've always been that way inclined anyway. But yeah, certainly very apparent at the moment, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to crack on with some training. I've got a harebrained idea that I want to try and do in a couple of months' time, that I need to sort of, well, train for, but also see if I can physically do this. So I'm going to spend the next 4 weeks really testing whether my idea is feasible or not, and I'm going to crack on with that right now. So have a good week, listen to what people are telling you if you trust them, and maybe try and educate some people that maybe don't know the things that you do, and help them along the way so that they can enjoy things like you do. And most of all, make sure you take care of each other and take care of yourselves. Have a good week. I'll see you next week.